This is the Royal Borough of Culross, situated along Fife's gorgeous coastline. Now I was calling it Culross, but apparently Culross is the way to pronounce it correctly. This place reminds me of many wee villages and towns on the Fife coast, and it's one of the reasons I love Fife so much. When walking through Culross, it feels like you're walking into the past. The narrow cobbled streets, the quaint cottages and the history of this place make it a must-visit location. This is a place with a long history and story to tell, and the atmosphere here is unique in many ways. And with a little imagination, it's easy to picture times past playing out right in front of you.
Where is thy glory now? Sing me a song of a last.
Culross was once a thriving port town, trading in coal and salt during the 16th and 17th centuries, with ships and boats consistently arriving and leaving here. You can imagine at one time this place was populated by sea traders and locals alike. The distinctive look of the houses in Culross is said to be a direct result of the sea trade, particularly of those from Belgium and the Netherlands. These ships used Dutch roof tiles to give ballast to their ships, and on arrival would unload them to make room for the coal and salt before once again heading back to Europe. These red tiles would eventually be used to adorn the roofs of the houses and buildings that reside in the town. In 1575, Sir George Bruce established a coal mine here and built what is known as the Moat Pit. This pit extended under the sea. Now, this was made possible by using mechanisms that would drain water from the pit, allowing the men to continue working in what must have been rather terrifying work. I don't know about you, but the idea of being in a coal mine under the sea in the 17th century strikes me as a scary thought and prospect. As I mentioned earlier, Culross was also trading and selling salt. Salt panning was a major industry here along the River Forth. The town was the biggest supplier of salt in Scotland at the time. With the large profits that Sir George Bruce made from both the coal and salt industry, he commissioned the mansion that is now known as Culross Palace. And there she is. The industry that made Culross such a major trading hub back in the day, it was not to last. In the 1800s, its role went into decline, and the stone that was used to create the pier here was removed and used to build the port at Leith. The harbour was filled in, and eventually a railway line was introduced which cut Culross off from the sea. The palace now belongs to the National Trust. It has been renovated extensively and brought back to how it would have looked back in antiquity. The walls were said to have been bleached white with age and the sea air. This was eventually rectified and returned to the beautiful colour that you see today. This building behind me, which is but a stone throw from the palace, is called the Townhouse. That was built around 1626 and was formerly the town's courthouse and prison. It's distinctive because of the clock tower that adorns the building, which was added around the 1780s. On a much darker note, Culross was to play its part in the witch hunts that happened between the 16th and 18th centuries. 32 women accused of being witches and performing witchcraft are believed to have been held in the prison here. However, more than 380 people in the Fife area were also accused during these unenlightened times. In the neighbouring town of Torryburn, there is the grave of a lady named Lilias Adey, who was accused of witchcraft. I filmed and documented Lilias Adey's story a few months back. If you wish to watch this, you will find it on my YouTube page, Mackie Outdoors. Or if you prefer, you can scroll down on my TikTok feed and you will eventually find the video there. Now, to be clear, these people who were accused of witchcraft were completely innocent victims of an enlightened age where superstitions about witchcraft were prevalent and real to the people of those times. As you wander these cobbled streets, you will eventually arrive at the ruins of Culross Abbey. Now, this was built in the 13th century and founded by Malcolm Earl of Fife in 1217. Sometime after, the Abbey Church, which was built, is located right next to the Abbey itself. Now, the abbey is currently closed for reconstructive work, but this building signifies the religious zeal that Culross once enjoyed. Now, apart from their religious duties, the monks who resided here are said to have been the first to mine the coal along the shoreline of Culross. It's hard to imagine today men in robes putting their backs to such hard labour, but these were different times and must have produced hardy people from all walks of life. It's believed Culross has been a religious site since the 6th century, its history reaching back many hundreds of years. As we turn away from the abbey, we head towards the kirkyard and graveyard. Now, many of these headstones are from the 18th century, but possibly even older. Many of these stones are in poor state, and it makes it hard to read the inscriptions. But listen, all you can hear is the birds singing. How peaceful. This is a curious one. We have what looks like either an angel or a wee cherub. 1794. Wow. And you go around the other side and you've got this skull with a different date on it, 1849. I wonder what the significance of that stone is. Just one of the many mysteries that Culross holds. Here's another one. I can't make out a date on it, but that's straight out of a horror movie, that one. The corpse, jeez, of my, I can't read that. Is it spouse? Gardener, he died, 1723. Wow, that's crazy. The age of that stone. What a bizarre stone. Very cool at the same time. But it is like something out of a Dickens novel or something. Or something similar. Hammer House movie. I always find when I visit historical places like Culross, I find it easy to imagine the people who came before. You know, behind me, for instance, I can picture, obviously people burying their friends and their relatives. I can sort of picture, well, the graveyard when it was in better condition, and these people, how they dressed, and you wonder how they thought. What was their lives like? How tough was it? I'll bet it was tough for many of them. Yeah, Culross is just one of these places, not just the graveyard, but the town itself, that has a certain feel to it, almost like you can touch history here. It's like the ghosts of these people walk around you. Like if they had the chance, they would tell you their story. I love that. It's almost like all you have to do is listen, and you'll be told. It's very peaceful here. Probably not a bad place to end up. It would seem it doesn't matter where you turn in Culross, there is just history everywhere. The Locket Well, Can you imagine? They were just different days. And there's a lady getting her water from it. What a great photograph. 1800s. It's incredible. I put a wee video out yesterday on my page asking where in Scotland am I. Now, I said I'd give a quick shout out to the first person with the right answer, and 2 answered at the same time. So it's a big thank you to Andy McGuinness and Jeff the Haggis. Thanks for playing along, lads, and for everyone else who joined in the conversation. There's not much to look at this time of year, being February, but I imagine it's quite beautiful in the summer months. Right, as you walk past the hanging gardens, you come down these steps. And down this path here. Look at this. A wee narrow path going between the houses. Of course there's the palace there. Amazing that these spaces still exist in such good condition. You think of the people who have walked down here in the past. Now, many films and TV series have been filmed here in Culross. Most notably would be the series Outlander. It's one of the reasons that in modern times the town has become a tourist destination. People flock here to walk in the footsteps of the characters, to take in the atmosphere of the place. Now, it's needless to say, Culross is happy to indulge tourists who come here to find these locations. But I'm sure I speak for the residents. Show respect for their privacy. Peeking through their windows or walking in their gardens is a definite no-no, just as it would be with your own home. There is so much history in Culross that I simply cannot cover it all in a small video such as this. It would be well worth your time doing some research for yourself before coming here. It's a place you must visit for yourself and experience. The atmosphere here is incredible. I feel it is a thin place, a place where the veil between this time and the past intertwine. With very little imagination, it's easy to see the people from the past walking up and down the cobbled streets, the sounds of horse and cart rumbling along the roads, perhaps the sound of the ships arriving at the dock and the people jumping ashore. The hustle and bustle of what was once an incredibly busy port town echoing all around you. There's food to be had here, also, and a play park for the kids. Enjoy a great day out here, and I hope you enjoyed my wee video, and I'll see you on the next one.